most people think it's difficult, but it's really not. All we're doing now is we're talking about helping verbs. So one word verb, which is an action word, helps another one, and it just gives it more description. For example, our main verb is alu. Alu le tiene y le fono tallao. This is like, the main thing that we're talking about. So if we say e alu, let's just take this out. Mafayona. Don't just ignore this for now. So if we say e alu le tiene y le fono tallao. All right. So it's basically the girl goes to the meeting, goes to the meeting tomorrow. Altogether, it kind of doesn't make sense, but we have to put it together to make sense. So, e alu le tiene y le fono y le tallao. We'll say it like that. So, go is our main verb or our main action. Okay, alu, the girl goes, and then to the meeting, tomorrow. But here, what we're saying when we add a helper verb, mafai is like able to or can. So if we say mafai onna, so able to go. All right. So again, this is our main verb, but then all we're doing now is we're adding a helper. In Samoan, we add a helper and we say onna. Okay. So the helper goes before the main verb. E mafai onna alu le teine y le fono tayao. So what we're saying is the girl is able to go to the meeting tomorrow. E mafai na alu le teine y le fono tayao. All right. This throws a lot of people off because we say the girl is able to go to the meeting tomorrow. Okay, but the only new thing that we're talking about here is this helper statement, mafayona. All right, let's do another one. E mafai ono o alu ilefono tayao. Does anyone know what this says? First of all, so it's tense, helper, action, subject, location. Yeah. So I'm gonna copy Sean's statement, and then we're gonna answer his question. So actually, let's go to a fresh page so we can kind of see what's going on here. Cursor. Okay, so he says, so it's tense, helper, action, subject, location. It can be. I hate saying it like that. So I forgot what the sentence was. Ed mafai on alu letene ilefono tayao. All right. So we have tense, helper. After the helper is going to be onna. There's definitely other ways to phrase this, but we're just going to stick with this for right now. Tense, helper, onna. Onna comes after that, and that's going to connect us to our action. So this is our action. Our main action is alu. Okay. Then we have subject, letene, and then our location, ilefono, and then tayao. Tayao is going to be our time. Okay. So yeah, you're right. The only thing was we just needed the ona. Okay. But the same way that we have letene as a common noun, let's just say we said she. Okay, we're gonna say there's two other ways. We can say mafai ona ialu letene. Oh, I'm sorry. Ialu ilefono tai yao. Okay, so now we have our tense, we have our action, and we have our onna. Now we have subject. And remember, if we just took this out right here, I know this is probably going to sound confusing to some people. Let's just take our helper and our what do you call this? The onna out. Then we have ia, alu, ilefono tayao. So basically it's like she goes to the meeting in the morning. Okay. Um all we're doing is we have tense, we have subject, we have action, we have location, time. We've been talking about that. All we're doing is we're just adding this right here. Oops. Mafayona. All we did, we just added Mafayona. Okay. Um, and then we could say it another way. If we were to say it like this, we could say um, tense, action, subject. Location ile ono tai tayao. Okay. So we have our tense, we have our action, we have our subject, we have our location. All we do is we just put in our helper, Mafayona. I know that this might sound. Is anybody lost at this point? I know it can be confusing, but only thing we only thing we really done, is just add our helper and ona and all of this. Everything else is the same. On this one, we have tense. We have let's just say helper and then ona, like that, and then we have action, subject, and then location and time. On this one, we have our tense. We have, I'll put in parentheses again, we have our helper, ona, then we have subject, action, location, time. All right, and then on this one, same thing, we have our tense, helper, and then ona is still in the parentheses, and then we have action, location, time. So even if all of this looks confusing only because we haven't really went over the definitions word for word like that, look at the formula for it. I hate to make it sound all scientific and all of that. Oops. But I mean, this is basically how it breaks down. We have tense, and then helper, and then onna, action, subject, location, time. Tense, helper, and the onna, subject, action, location, time. And the only reason the subject can be there is because this is a pronoun, right? The pronoun coming before our action. And then the last one, same thing we've been talking about. Tense, helper, and then onna, and then action, location, time. Okay. So we'll go over this even more. I want to get to some other reviews and stuff like that. So let me go back to how do I get there? Okay, so would you say T-SALT is the shortest and easiest way of saying something? Yes, if we're using pronouns, definitely. So the question from Motu is, would you say that T-SALT is the shortest and easiest way of saying something? Definitely. I think most people use the T-SALT way if we're saying he, she, we, us. Most people would speak like that. Except unless we're talking about like ote, like if we're talking about present tense, then people would say, ote fialu, ote alofa yate oi, ete alofa mai, those sort of things. So, but what we learned the first week, the second week, that's, although it's not as common, we use that to for common nouns. So yeah, we will use that for common nouns. All right, so let's see. Let's practice this one together. We'll do this for a few minutes and then we'll get to some connecting words. So we usually go to Monterey in December. This is when I usually go to Monterey. The word for the helper verb for usually is masani, and then plural for to go is o. So we just stretch it out. So anyone want to take a shot at that? I know these are a little bit more complicated, but we usually go to Monterey in December. Oh yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. Yeah, because we do have 10 minutes. We'll come back to this one.